Okay, so moving on to our next story, we fixed some of our technical issues, at least on the video end. Let's hope that our first fucking episode of the new year doesn't have any major fucking problems. Anyway, so we are talking about Shaman King, Red Crimson. It is a spin-off manga that you probably have never heard of, but now it's over. So, all right, everybody, that's it. That's the whole. No, no, no. That's well, no, no. Here's the thing. The reason why you've probably never heard of it, especially Tristan, by the way, it never came out in the U.S. because
Yeah.
Shaman King and the licensing rights have been kind of in the U.S. over the last 10 years. And I'll get to that a little bit later.
You
Now,
could
this
say they were
spinoff,
with us in spirit.
get the fuck out. And so, Tristan did not expect that. I usually love jokes like that. Tristan did not expect that. Tristan, are you okay? Your cat's on your lap, confused. Why is he moving? All right. Anyway, Shaman King Red Crimson is a manga that the final chapter, by the way, just came out. It says this past Friday in the article, but by the time this comes out, it'll be like last week or a week and a half ago. The spin-off manga started. I want to make sure I get this right. It launched. Why is it not telling me the exact time that it launched? I know that its last issue it launched in June 2018. Okay, so it came out June 2018, and it was actually centered around Tao Jun and Lee Pai Long. Right. I was like, for some reason, because I think they might have changed it for the 4Kids dub, which I'll get to that also a little bit later. But yeah, Tao and Lee Pai Long. So if you guys don't know, basically, Jun was a character related to one of the main antagonists, but like antagonists like Vegeta, not an actual villain. But
Right.
she's from a rich family, and her family, they were kind of wholesome. Basically, what they did is they assassinated famous people and used them as their slaves in death, using as a Jiang Shi. So you know Jiang Shi, Tristan. That's like when you have the talisman on their face and they're basically ghosts and they hop around. You
Right.
know what a Jiangshi is, at least when you see it hopping around with the like they have a certain outfit on and a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these were under the they're not just ghosts. These were under the control of the Tao family, and basically it's implied in this universe that the man that the ghost that she traveled with, because in general you could befriend ghosts and have them work with you. Of course, the main character of Shaman King has Amita Maru, who's like a Edo period samurai, because of course, and so that just makes sense. Yeah. And so anyway, so the person that their family killed is basically their equivalent to Bruce Lee. So he was so good at martial arts, they essentially killed him outside of a movie theater, and now they've trapped his soul and yada yada. They calmed down though. Everything chilled out. She's a better person because it was her family that was doing this to her, sort of. Because I think
Right.
when the manga started, even though she looks older, she was like a teenager at most. So
Yeah.
anyway, so now things between her and her accompanying spirit are fine, and I guess they decided let's create a spin-off manga of her as well. But again, it lasted about 2 years, a little under 2 years. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up, though, and again, we're probably not that we're probably never going to get this, but we did not get this because of the fact that Shaman King. So when I was a kid, when I was a wee little one, Tristan, you were there. Well, we're the same age, so we I don't know how you first got on the Shaman King or if you ever did, but I saw it on. It was a 4Kids production on Foxbox, and around the same time, Viz Shonen Jump started to become a thing more so in the U.S., and because of that, we actually ended up getting it in monthly Shonen Jump, not weekly Shonen Jump like in Japan. In the U.S., we got it monthly.
Right.
So, did you ever get in the Shaman King either one of those ways?
I didn't. I had a friend who did, and he would like
Yeah, I'm
talk
right
to
here.
me about it. Well, okay,
I'm,
another friend who would talk about it,
but
who got it through monthly Shonen Jump.
exactly, and so The 4 Kids version was but I mean, it was the 4 Kids version. I don't think the voice acting was terrible. It's just one of those things where because there was the manga was actually out at the time, I didn't have to rely on what they were putting out. However, the issue was is that I wasn't buying my own manga, of course, being that age. So my mom eventually, I either stopped asking her or she stopped buying it, whichever one happened. So what ended up happening is I only have up to 12, I think 12 or 13 of the manga, and there's 31 volumes, and I'm going to go scream into a pillow because they're all out of print because the author is not working with Viz Media anymore, so all of those have since gone out of print. And of course the anime, even though the anime was being put out on DVD, it didn't get the Yu-Gi-Oh treatment where Funimation like gave it its own like separate uncut version for a bit.
Right.
That did not happen. So there are, I think, only 3 volumes of it out. Actually, no, maybe 3 uncut, actually. I might be wrong. So there might be 3 volumes uncut, but I don't know if they actually had subtitles on them. What matters is that Shaman King, while being a great series, obviously very unrepresented because of when the manga actually was, like, taken back, like the license was revoked, that happened in, like, the mid to late 2000s.
Yeah.
Well, because what ended up happening was the series ended. The article characterizes it as abruptly in 04.
Right.
Then there was a reprinting of it, revealing a quote-unquote true ending in 09. At the time, which this is like 11 years ago, I was wondering, are we ever going to get that? But then what actually happened is, in the 2010s, the manga actually went out of print.
Right.
And it seemed as if eventually, once the reprintings and the kanzenban, like the complete editions, the bigger, better editions that were coming out in Japan, because now it's under the Kodansha branch. People were thinking, is Kodansha USA going to bring this out in the US? And as every year, because I believe it ended officially, the complete edition, not even the reprints, like another reprinting, larger edition, ended in 2018. I believe it was late 2018. So people were thinking, 2019, Shaman King, US, again.
Right.
And then nothing. Not even digital. And because I was looking around on Kodansha's site, because someone said that they had digital versions, and I was like, oh, hell yeah. And that person lied. Or maybe they were saying it could happen, but it never materialized, at least as of this point. Hopefully by the time this article's out, I'm wrong. But either way, so it's really sad because, I mean, maybe there's some people that are trying to put this out, but I don't want to read it because I'm under the impression, first of all, I have a huge backlog, but I'm hoping that, that Kodansha will end up putting out not just the original Shaman King, but also these as well, because they have something good on their hands. People really enjoyed Shaman King. I mean, it had representation on US, as an anime in the US on television.
Right.
Hell, I would hope that you could come out with a no frills discotheque media edition, just subtitles only of the anime itself. Yeah. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. It was fun. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it had the iffy dub, and again, not acting wise, just choices were iffy.
Right.
Like in way to translate certain things, talk about death. Like they could say that they were ghosts, but I don't think they could say that they died. And it's like, but
just like you can't die on screen, but your soul can be eternally damned.
Oh, I love it so much. Like, I'd rather get my leg chopped off Saw style than have the buzz saw, which is apparently a spiritual soul blade, hit my leg to send me into eternal damnation. I might be able to survive my leg being chopped off if I can get to a hospital fast enough. I can't survive being sent to the Shadow Realm.
Oh, man.
Just saying. The original Japanese version had buzz saws.
Yes.
Anyway. This topic had a point. So the manga is ending in Japan. Some of you that may have been reading it, I don't know if it's available online somewhere, but if you were, it's over. So hopefully you enjoyed that while it lasted. And also there's some other shorts, very interesting stuff like Shaman King Zero, and also there is that's interesting. There's Shaman King Flowers. But it's weird because those are in Shueisha's stuff, but I could swear that the original series is not Shueisha anymore. Man, well, because it's interesting. Manga licensing, general licensing stuff can be very complex.
Yeah.
And then also Taikei, the author, launched a new arc for Shaman King manga titled Shaman King the Superstar, which was in Shonen Magazine Edge, which I don't know if Shonen is meant to be some type of, branding Shonen Jump, or it's just its own Shonen manga.
Yeah.
Either
Right.
way, by the way, that manga in December, it's nearing its climax. So yeah, I'm curious to see where Shaman King goes from here. Tell us what your thoughts about that are down in the comment section down below. Are you interested in this series? Were you interested in Shaman King as a kid? Did you like the little history lesson? I don't know. Just tell us what you think about all that stuff down in the comment section down below.